this video for insight, I want to share with you another couple stories of creative blindness, or what I call thinking you know blindness, because it's so easy to see in other people, but it's really hard to see in the context of our life. Thus, that's why we call it this creative or thinking you know blindness. And there's another story here in Dave Trott's book, where the newspapers called her the Phantom of Gilbran, the woman without a face. She was the criminal mastermind who had eluded all efforts to catch her until, in a separate incident, they discovered a charred corpse of a man. And to discover his identity, they used a swab to collect his DNA and tested it. And it came back that he was an Eastern European woman, which was obviously not true. So they took another swab and tested it again. And this time he came out a man correctly. So this led the police to test the swabs. And it turns out that the swabs had been contaminated at the factory where they were made. The factory, all the people who worked there were women, Eastern European women. So the DNA they'd been collecting from crime scenes for the past 15 years wasn't from a criminal mastermind at all. It was the DNA from one of the women at the factory. And for 15 years, the police had been searching for a criminal mastermind that didn't exist, all because nobody questioned the infallibility of a scientific process. And this is what we all do everywhere, but especially in our business. In our businesses, we think we know. Once a scientific process and hypothesis has been developed, it's beyond question. And, this is what makes us blind. Just earlier this week, I left my house talking on the phone with an earbud. I got to the bottom of my street and the call dropped. And in a flash, I sort of panicked. I felt all this pressure because I had just enough time to get where I needed to be. And I realized in this flash, oh crap, I left my phone at the house. So I thought I better just hurry and turn around and go grab it. I'm not far from home. So I did. And wouldn't you know, I pull up to my house and a big truck is pulling into my driveway to make a 3-point reverse turn and is going so slow. So the pressure's increasing. Finally pull up, leave my car running, run in, look everywhere for it, can't find it, ask the nanny to call it, it's not there. It finally occurs to me, I wonder if it's in my car. So I go back out and look, and my purse is sitting right there. You see, that's the thinking you know blindness. And thinking you know blindness, we're more prone to this blindness when there's pressure that, our thinking pressure increases it, our thought created pressure. That's what I'm trying to say, right? See, I had more pressure because I was running late. I needed my phone. So I went straight to doing what I thought I needed to do. I thought what the evidence was alluding to. Had I left 20 minutes early, planning on getting a cup of coffee on my way, I guarantee you with the clearer mind, I still would have thought, oh, I bet I left my phone at the house. Well, let me just check and see if it's in my purse, right? You see, when we settle into a clearer mind, we're able to think beyond the thinking we know. We're less prone to that blindness. We're more prone to insight. Insight offers a more common sense solution. On the other side of the solution, sometimes it looks creative. Sometimes it looks like creative thinking, but it's actually not creative or clever thinking. It's just clear-minded thinking. From that deeper space inside, we are prone to seeing something fresh and new. We are prone to looking upstream at problems, to stop thinking about them in the way that we've been thinking about them. And this makes us prone to insight. So I invite you, what problems would you love to see through a clearer mind? And I invite you to kind of maybe experiment this week or in the next weeks to come, to just notice that when the pressure's on, maybe the numbers are down, or there's high turnover, or there's an unsolvable problem in front of you. If you notice the pressure, maybe just knowing, if you can see for yourself that when pressure's up, we're prone to that thinking you know blindness, maybe take an extra breath or two, let your thinking settle, and just see what emerges from a clear mind. I'd love to hear what you notice. Namaste.